Malawi, Africa, 1970. The Great Dance.
Dance ceremony we went to. It's called Nyau, or Gule Wankulu, which is the Great Dance. And this is kind of a tribal ceremony. It used to be very full superstition, and I guess they even had some murders and things, but it's calmed down a great deal since then. But it was really fascinating. We described the night ceremony on the other side, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about the day ceremony, which we taped on the back so you can hear the music, but you don't actually know what the dancers look like. It was really fascinating. It was kind of a run in between a circus, a burlesque show, and a minstrel show. And so, you know, it started off with these chicken-type dances, which Ron explained, doing their African dances. This was interesting. The chickens are very highly esteemed here, especially the rooster. And so a lot of the costumes go after the, you know, similar to the chicken, and the way the chickens do their feet, you know, it's very similar to that. Then they had a clown who was kind of powdered white and was very clumsy and made all these mistakes and really couldn't dance too well. And he was probably pretty drunk on Chibuku beer. Then they had, which was really funny, the part of a minstrel show, only vice versa. They had the Nzungu, who were the Europeans, that's us. And they had wooden faces, but they were painted bright red because according to the Africans, that's what we look like, red. And this one looked just like Groucho Marx. He had a mustache and this painted on toothy smile, you know, and they were kind of clumsy and getting into things, and it was really spring to watch them. We're trying to get some of the masks to bring home, and Ron took some pictures also. And then they had one man who was could have been in a striptease show, only he was male instead of female, doing a quite vivid dance, which was very interesting. And then, of course, they had the fierce warriors, which Ron talks about on the tape also, who are the British, and they have the hatchets and these blue and red hats, which look very much like hangman hats, you know, and they really look quite vicious, so I guess they feel the British are kind of rough on them. So it was really a fascinating dance, and I hope if you come that you'll be able to see this. It's amazing that this goes back so far, and to see so much of our own culture, you know, related into this dance.
To watch the strange ceremony of the Nyau, because to this most sacred and mysterious ceremony. In order to participate in this ceremony, each person attending must pay £1, 5 shillings. We are now on our way in the car. We are going over the back roads, the bush. The road is pretty bumpy, and in spots there is no road, so we make our own, going through trees, brush, bush, scratching the under structures of the car, hoping that it does not puncture the gas tank or tear out any of the electrical system. And we approach, in the distance, a village. This village is the village of our houseboy. In the background we see strange figures, 10, 12, 13 feet high, moving mysteriously in the moonlight. We are cautioned not to have our lights of our car strike any of these figures. So therefore we dim our lights and travel the next few yards to our houseboy's home in deathly black cover of night. We pick up our houseboy, who has been slightly inebriated for this occasion, and then we progress out through the bush to another neighboring village. We drive through the bush until finally we see a campfire. Around the campfire are many men. These men, we are told, are the guards. These guards are guarding the Chimbuku beer, which will be quaffed till it is all gone the following day. Inside the hut made of mud and the grass roof, we see 10 or 12 goats inside their pen. The women are inside singing, clapping, and chanting. They're comforting the woman here because 2 months ago she lost her husband. Outside, the men are sitting around the campfire, smoking and telling stories, waiting for the arrival of their chief, and so that we may go to the ceremony to see the Nyau. Elias has quietly negotiated with the chief and paid our admittance fee, and we are sitting around talking, anxiously expecting our approach to the sacred dancing grounds where the ceremony will take place.
Finally, Elias tells us it is time to go. Now, to get the full effect of this, you must picture the following. It's a dark, starlit night, very typical of Africa. The moon is full and orange like a Halloween moon, and we're not allowed to light our flashlight. And we must follow single file. We walk through this very narrow path with the tall, dry grass rustling and the full moon shining down. And all of a sudden we see these tall figures swaying back and forth, and they must be 10 feet tall and 3 feet wide or 6 feet wide. And we hear this moaning sound as it goes back and forth. And this is the Nyau dance, which we are now approaching, the celebration of this. And Elias tells us not to be afraid, so we try also not to be afraid, but this is not easy. We come to a big open space, which we're told is the dancing grounds, and they bring us our 4 chairs. We're the only people that have chairs. And we sit down and we wait a while longer. And then they ask us if we'd like to go back further and see the preparation grounds where the people prepare to get into their costumes. And of course, what could we say but yes? So again, we march singly through this tall, swishing grass, and we hear these moaning sounds. And we get to this tall figure, and Elias says, "Would you like to touch this, madame?" And I say, "Oh yes, I would like to touch this, this 12-foot figure." It looks very much like a rooster, and it is made out of straw, woven together. And we see them lying down, and they ask us if we would like to, they asked me if I would like to get in it. So I got in one of these. They have holes to see out of them. And here we were explained the secrets of the Nyau. And if you come to Africa, we will take you to one, and you too can know the secrets of the Nyau. And we also saw 2 of the dancers. And then after this, we went back to the big dancing grounds, and we sat down and we waited. And pretty soon the 5 drums started beating, and the people started singing and clapping. And these big figures shaped like roosters. One was 12 feet tall and must have been 6 feet long. And they come gliding into the circle, and they twirl around and glide all around. And also there were 2 dancers that were dressed up to be like chickens, and they looked like someone had given them a petticoat, and they had cut off about 6 inches, and they had that around their waist, and they had little ruffles around their feet and little ruffles around their neck. They were quite good dancers, and they stirred up a lot of dust. And as the if the people liked the way they danced, then they would reward them with a penny or 3 pence. And this made them go all the more wilder. And so after this had gone on for about an hour, Elias said, "It's almost finished, so maybe we should go now." And Ron says, "Well, we will wait till the end." So we wait about 2 minutes more, and Elias says, "Well, I think we should go now." And I told Ron, "Yes, I think we should go now." So we got up and we walked and we left. And as we were leaving, it sounds like the music is getting even louder and wilder. And so we walk a little faster. And we finally get to our car. And we are sitting in our car feeling very safe. And Ron starts the car. It will not start. The battery is dead. And we were very upset about this. But some of the African watchmen pushed the car for us. And we were going down this goat path without any engine running. And luckily it finally started. So we made it home safe and sound. So now, you did not hear the tape of that night. We were just explaining to you what we did last night. Today we are going back for the ceremony again. It lasts Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. And today we will tape the music, and there will be many different types of dances and songs. But we want to give you the full effect of what we experienced last night, which was most interesting.